Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast coming up next. We got the remarkable Ryan Rembrandt in the house with us today. We're going to talk that talk coming up next.
Following podcast scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, they are the Internet Podcast.
We back. Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast, the insightful S. Scott Bars Wrestling Media. And you see the dynamic salute Darkwing Dub. Our special guest, Ashe's own Ryan Remarkable Rembrandt. Let's give a round of applause. Yeah. Yeah. How's it going?
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Appreciate you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to come and come down here with us. We appreciate it. We got a lot of questions. We don't want to waste your time. I'm gonna let Dub start it off first, man. So what you got?
What up, pimpin' since been pimpin'?
What's going on?
So I personally want to start from the beginning. What got you into wanting to be a professional wrestler?
Wanting to do it. So, man, I remember when I was like a little kid, I would see wrestling on the TV, like my babysitter's house, and then I would go to school, and the kids would talk about what happened on Raw the night before, like on Tuesdays, at the lunch table.
Mm-hmm.
So I would hear it, and I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. So then I would start watching it and like following the product. And once I saw it, I was like, ooh, I want to do this. So probably when I was like 8, 9 years old, it just seemed cool at the time. I was just a little kid. I didn't really understand all of it. And then I would say probably around when I was like 12, that's when I was like, okay, I want to do this for real. Because I just saw the athleticism. I saw the characters. And it was like real life superheroes. And so I wanted to do that too.
Were you into sports? Because, being a professional wrestler, a lot of people have athletic backgrounds that follow them into professional wrestling. Do you have that kind of background also?
Yeah, I did martial arts when I was growing up. I did taekwondo. It's like, usually like 90s kids, we all did some type of martial arts. I did amateur wrestling for a little bit, high school and middle school. But I like more of like the performance more. So okay. I did, so I would be active, but I wasn't really like playing sports like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we talked to Rayhan, and the dude is 6'6" for no reason. Didn't play any sports. Yeah. I'm like, bro, you big for no reason.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's cool.
So that's just one. Excuse me. That's just one of the questions that I ask because, like I said, a lot of professional wrestlers have an athletic background of some sort, which you do, being a amateur wrestler and the martial arts and stuff like that. So you do. That's more you could say for Rayhan.
He gonna get you for that, bro.
That's all right. That's all right.
He gonna get you for
that. So like in the performance side, does that explain like the robes and stuff like that too?
Yeah, definitely. That stuff, like, I like something that like could be flashy, that could stand out a little bit. I think a lot of wrestlers like to be like kind of like, not really like as flashy. They kind of want to be like more like, I don't know how to describe it, but just not as, I don't want to say flamboyant, but not as, dang, I'm trying to, it's the tip of my tongue, I can't. A lot of wrestlers don't stand out visually. A lot of them use like their skills and they're really good at it. But as far as the visuals go, a lot of wrestlers don't go out of their way to stand out in that regard, at least on the indies from what I've seen. So I try to do that just to help me stand out. Even growing up as a kid, I paid attention to like the robes and the jackets and the vests that people would wear coming out. And then even when I was younger, I would go back like on YouTube and watch wrestling from like the 80s and stuff just to see like highlight clips. And I would see all the dudes coming out with their robes and stuff and the capes. It looked cool. So I wanted to do something like that too.
So who influenced you the most when it comes to the whole design of the robes?
Oh, okay. So most people think Ric Flair. Most
That's
people
what I was
think that,
thinking.
we're both from North Carolina. You got the blue on it. You know what I mean? So a lot of people think that, and that's fair. I would say Rick Rude. Rick Rude's robes. I thought they were cool. And that was just for me just going back, YouTube, just Google searching, just trying to be a student of the game, trying to watch everything. His robes, Macho Man. He mostly had like a cape though, but he had some robes too. It was a different design, but just the colors, how it popped, like it stood out. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right. Hey, that's a name we haven't heard in some time. Is Ravishing Rick Rude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, legend, man.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Go ahead, Bars.
Yeah, so my questions are going to be related to you might know who, you might be familiar with this guy, Darrius Carter. What is
All
your
right.
relations as far as what y'all do as a duo in Ashe Wrestling?
All right, so Darrius Carter, he's one of those guys. He's accomplished. I mean, you could just the resume speaks for itself. I mean, he holds multiple championships in the Northeast, New York, Jersey, tri-state area. He's been the kingpin of that area for a minute, and so now that he's coming more down south in the Carolinas, working here, what a perfect opportunity. Like, who better to learn from than somebody who's been in the game for a minute? He's won multiple championships, held them for like record breaking amounts of time. Very skilled in the ring. So it's one of those things where it's like, if you're going to learn from somebody, especially on the roster, you're going to learn from somebody, you got to learn from the best. And when I saw him, I was like, okay, this dude's the best. So I got to learn from him. And he's the champ. He's the reigning Ashe men's champion, as you can see. He's got a title defense against Billy Dixon. He's beat him like 20 times already, but this Saturday is going to be it. And after that, we'll see what he can do. But yeah, he's the man. So when I saw him, I was like, I got to learn from this guy.
You guys, when I believe you guys tagged once in Ashe, and when I seen you guys, y'all instantly reminded me of the Blue Bloods. The Blue Bloods, Lord Stephen Regal and Squire. I forgot his name because
Dave Taylor.
Dave Taylor.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what's funny though? Dave Taylor had me as far as like him being British or from the UK, because I could have sworn this man was British. Come to find out, this man's from the South. He's from down south. Yeah. He's from down south.
Oh.
Yeah, he's from down south. And I was like, what? So this dude did the Razor Ramon on a bunch of fans, because when Razor Ramon first debuted in WWE, I really thought Razor Ramon was a Colombian dude. I did not. Since I would like to believe all of us in here, we grew up probably like around the same era, right? So when I seen Razor Ramon, right, I'm automatically thinking that this is a Colombian guy. I had no idea that he was Italian. He played that character so well. I had no idea. Come to find out later, I found out he was Italian when I looked back at his tapes and I seen younger versions of him. I was like, oh, this is the same guy? I didn't even know it was the same dude at first. Because if you look at his older stuff and you look at his stuff as Razor Ramon, it looks like two different people. Right. So that's the same thing I thought with Dave Taylor. When I seen it, I was like, that the same guy? And then like I just kept looking back. I was like, oh snap. So what I mean is that that's the whole beauty of character play. Like you convince the people that you are this person when you're really not, and being able to be versatile and be able to switch it up, switch it up, switch it up. So when I see you guys, I instantly thought of the Blue Bloods because you guys exemplified that high prestige, like, you know what I'm saying, chin up, walk to the ring like, oh, don't touch me, don't touch me, brush the shoulders off. You know how Regal used to do, like,
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, get off it. Like, Regal was funny, man.
Yeah.
I loved Lord Steven Regal as a kid when he used to like egg on the fans or whatever like that, take their signs, rip it up. I was no more. I would laugh so hard because I just thought his character was just so funny, like in a good way though. And then I think of you guys just like that. I see how you guys portray yourselves in the ring and how you like masterful work. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm a big heels fan. I like heels
Yeah.
more than I like
Appreciate it.
faces. We both do. So like when we see heels, we like, yo. Because I think it takes more character to be a heel. Like anybody could be a face. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody could just wake up one morning and say, I want to be a good guy, right? But it takes real character work and acting to make somebody hate you. To make
Yep.
somebody hate you and like they don't even know you, but because you put so much emphasis into that hate, like it really takes good character work to make somebody hate you. And when I seen y'all and people was getting mad at y'all,
Yeah.
I was like, yo, we was cracking up. We was like,
Yes.
yo, these guys are diabolical. Yeah,
Yes.
it was dope. So let me ask you this. So what for you guys to get into that character, like what mentality that you guys have to be in to really like get into that mode of I'm gonna go out here, this is who I am, and get these fans to react and get that heat. What mentality, what state of mind did you guys put yourselves in?
All right. So with that, first off, I want to say how you were able to remember all of what Lord Steven Regal did when you were a
Mm-hmm.
kid. You remember like how he made you feel.
Mm-hmm.
You laughing at him ripping up the signs. You noticing how he was just kind of acting towards the fans.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that from when you were a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. Those are those moments. You remember that all
Mm-hmm.
these years later, you still
Mm-hmm.
remember that. And that's what Darrius wants to do. That's what I want to do. Is
Mm-hmm.
like create those moments
Mm-hmm.
that people will always remember. Because in wrestling, even as being a heel, that's what it's about. Like, when people watch it,
Mm-hmm.
when they leave the show, they might not remember all the moves that happened, but they remember how they felt.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who go to the shows who they get dragged along with their friends, they don't even like wrestling. They're like, oh, this is fake. They sit in the crowd. You can't fake emotions. You
No.
know what I mean? If you make somebody laugh, like laughing is real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you make somebody kind of be like, oh, what's that? You know what I mean? Or make somebody kind of cringe or, tense up or be confused or be mad, like that's not fake. That's
Mm-hmm.
real. That's real emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what Darrius likes to do. That's what I like to do. And Ashe is the perfect platform for that. Um, so that's what it's about. And just being a heel, just being hated by the people, it's one of those things. We didn't ask to be hated.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't tell the people that hate us. We just go out there and do our thing, and the people choose to react that way to us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if they want to react that way, that's cool. We'll give them more. We'll give them more to react to.
Mm-hmm.
But when people leave, they're remembering what we did. They remember how we made them feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the little kids watching in the crowd, when they grow up and they're in their 20s, they're in their 30s, they're gonna be like, I remember I used to go to the show, and I remember these heels, man. Darrius Carter, man, he was the champ. I remember he had Ryan Rembrandt with him. I used to hate those dudes. They're gonna remember
Mm-hmm.
that all those years later, and that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I like when as soon as I seen y'all, I was like, yeah, these are the blue bloods all the way. If we all y'all guys needed was the British music and the and what they I remember the one time when he had the one entrance when he had the British guards. They had him standing on side by side, and they'll play this music, and he was just marching to the ring, and he was going like this and just sneering off everybody. I used to find it so hilarious, you know what I mean? Because like I like I said, it just takes it. I feel like it takes a lot more character work to like really, you know, get into character as far as being a heel. I don't like depending on the face part. It depends because like I feel like it's a lot easier to be a face. You know what I mean? But some people just have that natural charisma where they could just the people gonna love them regardless of what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll use example Ugly Gang for example. Like we love those guys, right? People
Mhm.
gonna love him regardless. I feel like if the Ugly Gang was to even be heels, they would still get loved regardless because they just exemplify that character. You get what I'm saying? But then there's other folks where like a prime example. I could use another example. Okay, what's his face? Tiffany Stratton. Okay,
All
Tiffany
right.
Stratton, they got her playing a face, right? But if you look at her character and how she portrays herself, it's really a heel. It's really a heel. But
Yep.
she's being pushed as a face. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
feel like if they was to switch her up and have her as a heel, more of a heel, like they did with her running NXT, a lot of the stuff she's going through right now, as far as her character and her in ring persona, she won't go through it because, like, her character always exemplifies, yeah, you're gonna hate me, but I'm gonna show you that I'm better than everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I
Mhm.
mean by that. So, but yeah, I just feel like it takes a lot more to like, do the heel work than it does the face work, when it comes to certain people. But yeah, like y'all got me. Y'all got me. You know what I mean? When y'all seen y'all do that, I was like, yo, yeah, these guys are diabolical. You know what I mean? They're
Mhm.
diabolical. Go ahead, Dub.
They're diabolical, but they're different,
Mm-hmm.
right? Think
Mm-hmm.
about it. Darius comes out in the black trunks, the black boots, and the black knee pads, and then you got Mr. Rembrandt here in the nice, colorful robe with the colorful trunks and the boots and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, they're a team, but they stand out in their individual ways.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
they're
and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? It's that it's we're a team, we're cohesive, but we're still our own individual. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
you get your own flavor of what's going on, and I think that's what makes the team so. That was what makes it so valuable at Alshay.
so. Did you study any heels at all to really, really grasp what a heel does?
Yes. Oh, so oh man, I got so many. So Regal's one. You know, we mentioned him. Regal's a good one.
That makes
Kurt
sense.
Angle. Kurt Angle, especially the early 2000s Kurt Angle. Because for me, I like being a heel, but Kurt was like, he could be a heel, then he can be goofy, but still be a heel. But
Mm-hmm.
then he could be serious, but then he could turn around and be goofy again. I like that because that shows layers to it. So Kurt
Mhm.
Angle is a big one for me. Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is a heel. He's just creative, sneaky. The facial expressions that he had, I remember those a lot when I was a kid. I just remember like just seeing his face when he would cheat, when he would get caught, when
Mm-hmm.
he would get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I vividly remember that, and so I try to take things that I remember that stuck with me as a kid. I try to implement them into my character today. So those are like the top three. Man, Bret Hart, that '97 run, that '97 run is fire. That heel
Mm-hmm.
run is so good. So like the way he was so passionate, the way he talked, the way he felt, you could feel that it was real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, man, there's so many, but I would say those guys are probably like the main ones.
Mm-hmm.
So can you rank your top? Let's do your top 5 heels of all times.
Ooh. So, like, in my opinion, or like
Just this is
subjective?
your list. This is your
Okay,
list.
my
Uh,
list, my top
yes,
heels, like the people I hated the most growing up.
correct.
Okay, bet. Let's see. Triple H, number one, bro. Triple H,
Dude's
whether it
crazy.
was the McMahon Helmsley regime or whether it was Evolution, all that. Triple H, man. I did not like Triple H. He was so good at his job. He beat all the faces. Everybody I liked, he beat them. The 20-minute promos before Raw or at the beginning of Raw every episode. Triple H is number one. I'm trying to think. Jeff Jarrett, number
Oh,
two. Jeff Jarrett. And Jeff Jarrett's really underrated, by the way. Like, man, he's when I was a kid, I could not stand him at all. But when I go back and watch it, like, Jeff Jarrett was really good. The promos, the in ring. He was a heel, and he didn't want to be cool. Like, he did the opposite, and that's like what a heel is supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to take away what the audience wants. And I thought Jeff Jarrett did a good job. So as Triple H, Jeff Jarrett, Edge. Edge, I did
yes,
not like.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that was around the time when he was like, when Edge was getting hot as a heel. That was around the time I started getting on the internet a little bit. So I started to see why he turned heel, why they put him with Lita. And I was like, oh, he did Matt Hardy dirty. So that made me feel, I'm from the Carolinas. So the Hardy boys were like, my favorites. So when I saw he did that to Matt, I was like, dang. And so I did not like Edge. So Edge is number 3. Dang, I'm trying to think because I know there's more. I'm just trying to figure out who should be 4 and 5. Eric Bischoff, non-wrestler, but the character work, the promos, I still like remember. And again, this goes back to me remembering things from when I was a kid. I still remember like certain things he would do or say that really like bothered me as a kid. Like he would just take away what the fans wanted. So Bischoff's number 4, and then number 5, I would say number 5 heel. Man, thing. Stephanie McMahon. Yeah.
Could you imagine
That's
taking a slap from her?
Bruh, the slaps, the yelling, just from 2000 to like, even she was doing that in like 05 too, like all that, like the early 2000s Stephanie. That voice, especially like 2001 where it was like all high pitch. That voice.
Nails on a chalkboard, bro. Nails on a
Yeah.
chalkboard.
Do y'all think not to cut y'all off, do y'all think Vicky Guerrera, her voice, excuse me, like, oh
I was just
man,
annoyed.
yeah.
I was just annoyed.
That was rough. I remember that.
So one of my favorite heels of all time, and he knows this, is especially the 2009 version of him, is Randy Orton. When he was going around punk kicking Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and kissing Stephanie in front of Triple H while he was handcuffed. I was hooked. Because like he said, I prefer heels over baby faces any day. I think it just takes. I feel like anybody can go in and be a baby face, right? All you gotta do is talk nice to them. But you have to have a special set of skills to make a arena full of people hate you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Dominic Mysterio. For the longest time, I don't care if they were saying they were piping in the booze or not. They've already come out and said that that's not true. You couldn't even hear dude talk on the microphone. They were booing him so bad. That takes special set of skills. So my question to you about that is, would you like to be that person one day?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. And Dominic is one of those dudes. Dude, you're going to look back in a few years and be like, this dude, he's got it. I mean, you could just see the character development with him. I mean, a couple years ago, he was just Rey Mysterio's son, just clean, goody.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like not really standing out. And then once he had that Judgment Day turn, once he went to jail and came back, that Dirty Dom is just you get to see that character evolution play out, and I think that's why people react to him so much because you get to see like his character evolve, and it's like he does more and more to make you hate him even more. Whether it's like the promos where he's getting drowned out, or like just now where he's just cheating to beat everyone. It's great. And so yes, I would love to be in that position where as soon as I pick up a mic, you can't even hear nothing. That would be the best. That would be because then you know that everybody's invested in you fully.
Mhm.
And it's one of those things where it's like it's crowd participation. So when everybody's booing, like everybody is involved with that. And when you have everybody doing something, reacting to you, like you're doing an excellent job.
You being an Eddie Guerrero fan, how does it make you feel when you see Dominic doing a lot of what Eddie Guerrero is doing?
I love it. I think it's great. Because I see a lot of wrestlers do it. Like a lot of wrestlers would do the Three Amigos. Like over the years, a lot of wrestlers would do the I'm gonna grab a chair, I'm gonna grab a belt, and then throw it to my opponent and lay down. You know what I mean? Like the cheating thing.
Yeah.
A lot of wrestlers do that, and it's hit or miss. You know what I mean? Like people do it on the indies, people have done it on TV, and sometimes when that happens, it's like you know what I mean? It's like dang, like you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
not
I
it's not
feel
the
it. I feel
same.
it.
But like when Dominic does it, it's authentic. It feels real. It feels right. So I love it. I love seeing that happen.
Where where would you like to see yourself in the next 5 years? Let's start there. 5 years.
Ooh, 5 years. Okay. I'd love to be signed by somebody. I'd love to be signed. If not, I want to wrestle internationally. I just want to travel, just go somewhere for a couple months, wrestle there, then go somewhere else for a couple months, wrestle there. I kind of want to just spread my wings and fly. You know what I mean? All over. If I'm not signed to somewhere, so either being signed or wrestling internationally. That's what I want to do.
What company? Because I'm assuming you mean one of the big two, AEW or WWE. If I'm wrong, let me know.
Um, yeah, that'd be cool. But there's also like a lot of other good companies too, like a lot of smaller companies as well that I wouldn't be mad at. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be mad at helping build a brand. Like obviously WWE would be awesome, right? AEW, they've got momentum. That's cool. Um, MLW is pretty cool, and I think they have a TV deal coming up. I think now I could be wrong. I'm not 100.
I've
percent
heard about it.
Well,
I've heard that they're working on one.
yeah, and I hope they do because the more wrestling on TV, the better. But that's a good one. I'm really hoping NWA gets that momentum back so they could be, they could be prominent in the wrestling scene too. And of course, there's companies overseas as well. So really, any of them. It's one of those things where you kind of have to weigh it out, like pros and cons. Like everywhere has pros and cons, right? And so you
Yeah,
just want to see,
not to
like,
cut you all
if
off. Yo,
yes,
Dub, you take over. I gotta daddy duties real
Uh-oh.
quick, so I'll be
Uh-oh.
right back. Like y'all continue. I'll be right back.
sir. But yeah, just really wherever. I'd be satisfied just as long as I get to wrestle on the platform and showcase what I can do. I'll be happy with that.
You said wrestling internationally is there one place in particular that stands out to you the most as to, man, I want to go there?
Oh, see, that varies because sometimes I'm like, man, I want to wrestle in Mexico. I just want to just try out some lucha. You know what I mean? Because I think that is so fun. The UK, definitely with their style, they do a lot of technical wrestling there,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that. Um, I really want, man, there's this company. It's in Africa, Soft Ground Wrestling.
Okay.
And it's wild. I know you've seen some clips. I know you have because this clip's been going viral. But What I would
I've
want.
seen a few on Instagram when I'm just scrolling Instagram. I've seen a few. I hadn't really stopped to really watch, but now that you bring it up, I'm gonna have to go back and look.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. But man, I just wish they had like a. I don't know why it seems like Africa just as a continent just doesn't have a lot of wrestling,
Hmm.
and I wish it did, because if they did have prominent companies and somewhere in the continent, I would love to do that. Just to be able to go out there wrestle there, because I feel like there's millions of people there. There's a lot of resources there. I mean, it could happen, and I have no clue why there's no company there. But if there were to be a company there that that was able to be presented and shown globally, I would love to be a part of that. So really wherever though, but yeah,
No mention of Japan.
Japan would be cool. Japan would be cool, but I feel like Japan's one of those places where it's like that's like the final boss of wrestling in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like you got to be like the best. Like you got to be on top of your game to go to Japan. I feel like so I would want to
Okay.
go to other places first, develop even more, get even better, then go to Japan and test myself. Because I feel like everybody who's one of the goats, they've all spent time in Japan before. Like everybody I can
Yeah.
think of, who you could say this is the greatest wrestler of all time, they've all had some time in Japan. So it's like I feel like for me, I want to develop more, gain more skills, then go and prove myself. You know what I mean?
I feel it. I feel it. So,
Yeah.
what does a day in the life of Ryan Rembrandt look like?
All right. So a day, and then we're talking character, right?
No, just every day of you. Like wait
Real life.
from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. What does that day look like for you?
Okay. So for me, wake up, I go to work. I try to get a workout in the morning. So I try to do a workout in, eat some breakfast, and I go to work. I'm actually a school teacher.
Oh,
So I'm
nice.
an elementary. Yeah, I'm an elementary school teacher. I teach kindergarten. So I
Hey,
go
my son is
there.
in kindergarten.
Yeah. So that's cool, man. I do that from 7 to about 2:50, and then after that, I tutor, get in the gym, work a little bit, come home, chill. That's usually like a regular day.
So, do any of your students, or even not even just your students, or just the kids around the school, do they ever recognize you from TV? Other than do they recognize you from wrestling before they recognize you as a teacher? Have you ever had them
Nope,
go, "Hey, I saw you on TV"?
nope, no. I keep that private.
Oh,
Definitely, because with school, with education, it's weird. So it's like I don't know. It can go one of two ways. So if the principal, the school board, if they know, they would either be, oh, that's cool, wrestling, like fun, or they would have the mentality of, oh, wrestling, that's like dangerous, like steel chairs, steroids, blood. You know what I mean? They're like, you
mhm.
can't do this here. Like, so it's I just keep that quiet. Like they do not know.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. If you don't mind me asking, where'd you go to college?
I went to UNC Charlotte in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, which is perfect because Ashe is in Charlotte. So it's like every time I go back, it's like I just it's the city again.
How would you describe the city of Charlotte? I've been there, but not really been there. You know what I mean? Like I was in the airport, got me some what's the name of the famous fried chicken place? Bojangles. Got me
Bojangles,
some
yeah.
Bojangles in the airport and stuff like that. But I didn't really get to see the city of Charlotte. How would you describe the city of Charlotte?
Oh, it's beautiful. Every time I go back, it changes though. It's always growing, but it's a beautiful city, man. It's they've got really everything you could want. The city. I mean, it's huge, skyscrapers. But then once you leave the city, you get more towards like the university area, the college campus. That area is pretty chill. It's pretty quiet over there. But then You have mountains as well. You have about 30 minutes south is South Carolina. It's Carowinds. So that's a theme park that a lot of people like. It's kind of like a Six Flags, but for the Carolinas. Lots of
Okay.
rides and things like that. Charlotte's very busy. Traffic is horrible, but we got the Carolina Panthers. You know what I mean? So like that's my team. It's a cool city.
I was just
Man.
about to ask you that.
Yeah, and we're doing much better. This season's looking good, so I'm happy about that.
Are you a Hornets fan too?
Yes. Now for that, I'm more casual though.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're a Panthers fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, this dude right here is a Cowboys fan, and y'all just got that dub over the Cowboys.
Oh,
yeah.
man, here you go, man. This guy, man. Oh, man. Hey, yeah, you just had to throw the jab in, didn't you? You just had to throw it in. Dang, man. It's all good though. I know we're not doing so well right now, so it's all right.
It happens. Listen, man, it's been a long 10 years for us, man. We went to the Super Bowl in 2015. Mm-hmm. That year was fire, but ever since then, it's been brutal. So I feel it. Like we've been struggling for a minute.
I feel like our Cowboys is more or less the owner. You know what I mean? The owner, he thinks he's the coach too. So, like, I feel like once he gets out of that coaching bag and just leaves the team alone and allow the coach to do his thing, I feel like things will get a lot better for our team. That's how I'm looking at it. Anyway.
But no one cares about the Cowboys, so we're good.
Oh boy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You good, bro?
Yeah, man. Just had a little issue with the children, man, but they all right, man. He had to make sure it was good because I kept hearing noises when I was in between my headphones, so I just wanted to go check real quick. But everything is straight, man. Everything is straight.
All right. You got it. Go ahead.
All right, so let's get into some tag team situations. So, when do you guys feel like you guys are going to start, petitioning for possible tag team championships?
Ooh, at Ashe?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to, let's see. Well, first, we got to focus on making sure Darrius keeps that Ashe Men's Championship on Saturday, which I'm 100% certain he will, but we got to focus on that. Mm-hmm. I do know that they are crowning new tag team champions. Mm-hmm. And it's the Ugly Gang and TMI, I believe. Mm-hmm. I believe so. And so they're going for the tag titles. So we got to see how that match plays out. I'm a little familiar with all those guys. Darrius is even more familiar with those guys. So we're going to see that match, watch how that plays out. It really depends on what happens Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we recently talked with Ugly Gang, and like we definitely feel like you guys are in a head-on collision, being that Darrius is already familiar with Ugly Gang, so we feel like you guys are in a head-on collision in the near future. It's sort of like the Blue Bloods going against who was a trio at that time? Who was a trio that what's their name? Was it the Midnight Express? Was it the Midnight Express that was a trio? It was three of them instead of two. It was like three of them. Was it Midnight Express?
No, it was two of them. It was the Freebirds.
Freebirds, yup. So yeah, because it was a Freebird. So I could see a Blue Bloods and Freebirds type of collision in the near future between y'all, which y'all could take my money for that one, because I want to see how that would play out and stuff like that. So let's talk about you and your singles run. So has Ashe? I know Ashe has the Pan African title, which is held by Khan at the moment. But is there? Could you give like a little tidbit of information saying that is there another title that could be in the midst that could possibly that you might have your eyes set on, or do you have your eyes set on the Pan African title?
Oh, with that right now, I'm focused on the Ashe Men's Championship, keeping that on Darius.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he's got that, then we're good.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we need as far as that's concerned. The Pan African title would be good too. I know for that title, there's a lot of contenders, a lot of people who have really put in that time, a lot of people who have years beyond my experience level that are going after that. Now in the future, yes. But right now, I'm just watching that scene play out. There's a lot of people already in line with that one.
Mm-hmm.
As far as another title, perhaps, in Ashe, I don't know about that one. But for me personally, I've always been a big fan of like the Intercontinental Championship, the IC title. That was my favorite title growing up. And for me, all my favorite wrestlers all had that title at least once. And I think same thing with the Japan thing earlier. I think every wrestler who's considered the GOAT has held the IC title at least once. Except John Cena. John Cena's an exception. But other than him, every wrestler I can think of that could be considered the GOAT has been Intercontinental Champion at least once. So that's always been like my goal. Do you know what I mean? It's like a title like that, like a workhorse title, but a title that's important, but that can kind of fly under the radar a little bit. You know what I mean? Sometimes a lot of people focus on like the heavyweight title, but a lot of the action, a lot of the moments could happen with some of the other ones as well.
Yeah, I agree. I've always been a fan of the workhorse titles myself. I always like to see the titles that were constantly on TV for the most of the time because back in the day, you rarely seen the WWF title on TV unless it was a special occasion. That's when you seen it on TV. Most of the time you seen the IC title on TV if you're watching WWF. If you're watching WCW, you seen the United States title, you seen the television title. Those were like the titles you seen the most. I remember Hacksaw Jim Duggan was the United States champion on WCW, and he used to defend that title faithfully on what was it, WCW Saturday Night. He used to defend that title faithfully. I remember it. I remember hearing the music and everything, dun, 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 because he had different music from when he was in WWF, and he'll come out, he'll defend that title faithfully. I think he was one of the longest running United States champions in WCW at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Like I gotta look it up. Yeah, because he had that title for a minute. He was like, I was almost thinking that title was like, him and that title were intertwined, So I like that you said that because the workhorse titles are something that at one point in time, those titles are like sometimes held even at a higher prestige than the actual top titles. You know what I'm saying? Because those titles are defended so much. Where then the championships, the main title, you'll see that title at the pay-per-view. You might see the champ in a tag match, and you'll see him bring out the title. If you seen him in a singles match, it's more like a special attraction or whatever like that. So it's like a treat or reward to see that title, but you always got a chance to see the Intercontinental title, which I think is synonymous with Bret the Hitman Hart. Like it's synonymous with him. If you talk about the IC title, you talk about Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He had the title for a bit. I believe British Bulldog had the title for a bit. Ravishing Rick Rude had the title for a little bit. Ultimate Warrior, he had the title for a
Yeah.
bit. I mean, he unified the WWF and the IC title. You know what I mean? So so yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. So basically, you consider yourself a workhorse then, like as far as like if you had the opportunity to grab those type of titles, you consider yourself a workhorse, like being constantly on TV on a regular basis.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for that is it's one of those things where I pride myself on my character a lot because I do a lot. I could do a lot of the entertaining, you know what I mean, with like the rope, the gimmick, the mirror, and all that. But in the ring, like I could work too as technical wrestling, submission style wrestling. I like that
Mm-hmm.
a lot. So I could really do both the entertaining and the in ring part.
Mm-hmm. What style of wrestling do you like the most? Do you like the technical aspect? Do you like the brawler aspect? Do you like the high flying aspect, the hybrid aspect, strong style, British strong style? Which one would you consider yourself and why?
For me, definitely the technical side for sure. Definitely technical wrestling and showman style as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Kind of like a similar like a hybrid almost with the main focus on like the technical wrestling. So if this is like y'all remember the SmackDown versus Raw games,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, we all played those. So like for that, you know, you had like your two styles. So for me, it would be like the first style would be technical, and then the second style would be like showman. Like that would be kind of me. So like the technical wrestling, but then I do a lot of the character stuff too. I feel like that symbolizes my character a lot, and that actually shows in a lot of the guys that I like watching, like Kurt Angle, um, Eddie, um, Shawn Michaels, like that technical wrestler, but they could still be very entertaining with it as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Like those guys were like technical and entertaining at the same time, especially Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels definitely was entertaining and technical too.
Yeah.
I definitely think he was a hybrid. He was like everything all
Mm.
matched together, especially when he was in his youthful stages. You seen him do a lot. You seen him do a
Yeah.
lot. Like he would take a lot of like people don't give him enough credit when it came to his bumps. Like he made a lot of wrestlers look good in his youthful stages. He made a
Hmm.
lot of wrestlers look good. Like I've seen like the part where he took the bump from the Undertaker and he went through the table. Then it was the chair shot, the chair shot that he took, and he had that crimson mask over his face. Like he took a lot of bumps for a lot of people. Him, um, he had the classic match he had with Razor Ramon, and we talking about the IC title. That the classic one he had with Razor Ramon, the ladder match. That
Hmm.
that was like that match was crazy. I remember I seen that. I didn't watch it live, but I actually seen the pay per view. I remember watching that with my mother. So, like, yeah, I agree with you 110%. Go ahead, Doc.
So, what are some things that you do to prepare yourself for a match? Music, food, anything like that that gets you prepared for a match?
So what I try to do, if I know who my opponent is ahead of time, I'll try to watch matches with. I try to watch their old matches, or I'll try to watch wrestlers on TV who have a similar style as them. So I try to do that a couple of days before the show. When it's show day, um, I eat breakfast early, and then at the show, I'll very light. I have like a banana, I have like an energy drink and some water, and that's really it. And then I do a lot of stretching. I do a lot of warm ups. I try to warm up like my shoulders, my legs, my back, all of that, just to make sure everything is opened up and loose. So whenever I'm moving around, I can go. It's fluid. But I definitely try to get some type of warm ups and everything from toe touches, squats, um, like just shoulder circles, like everything just to get warmed up. I do yoga. Um, it's probably about a good like 45 minutes of just like warm ups. It's one of those things where it's like a lot of people are just kind of chilling, just like hanging out, waiting for their match. And I'm always like the one that's like stand up, like stretching or doing something. And then like 30 minutes later, I'm still like warming up, stretching, and people are like, "Bro, what are you doing?" Even if it's like a short match, it doesn't matter. I still have to have some type of warm up just to make sure that my body, my joints are moving around, that I feel good.
What kind of music do you listen to? Like you're trying to get yourself ready for that moment. You're getting ready to go out there and have a match. What's the music?
So actually, for that, this is an interesting one. So I don't listen to music at all before a match,
Oh wow.
which is weird. Because a lot of people, most people have like their headphones in, they're in the zone. For me, it's like it's either silence or I'm just like in my thoughts and I'm just thinking about. I'm like envisioning the match play out, and so I'm envisioning like certain parts of the match. I'm envisioning how people react to it. I'm envisioning my opponent, what my opponent is going to do or what they're trying to do. um, I try to envision it. So I try to keep it calm. No music. I don't really talk that much before a show. I just try to get like in that zone. I'm an introvert anyway, just naturally. But with that, just being quiet just keeps me like it keeps me calm in a way because even if it's something small, it could be like the short. It could be a 5 second match where I just go out, bump somebody, win, or I go out, get bumped, and that's it. It doesn't matter. It could be short. Um, and I'll be super nervous, like always. Like it'd be short match, long match, it does not matter. It could be first match of the night, it could be main event. I would be like the same amount of nervous for all of it. So I try to like calm myself and just relax and be chill, but not too chill because I still have to perform in front of the people. But I try to, just be cool before I go out there.
Yeah, that is weird because you hear a lot of wrestlers talking about. I listen to rock and roll to get myself all pumped up and jacked up and stuff, and then you got some that listen to hip hop and because they're ready to go in there and put a beating on somebody. You know what I mean? And so that tells me like you're more cerebral than anything. You're the new age cerebral assassin.
Yeah, and I'll take it. But yeah, I try to internalize it. I try to visualize what's going on. So yeah, that's a great way to put it.
I dub thee Ryan Rembrandt the new cerebral assassin.
I'll take it.
So speaking of nicknames, who gave you the nickname Remarkable?
Oh, so I did.
Okay.
That's myself. Yeah. It's one of those things. So like for me, it's like I like man, this was when I was in high school, I believe. So I used to read like the thesaurus and like
Uh-huh.
dictionaries just to try to like learn new words. So when I
Cerebral.
knew I wanted to wrestle, I knew I had to have something that could like flow off the tongue, something that could be that you could remember, but something that could be related to my name. So my name's Ryan. So I try to think of words or adjectives that begin with R, right? So I was thinking, and man, I'm a huge UFC fan. So at first I was like, what about Rampage? Because I like Rampage Jackson. I was like, what about Rampage? But then it's like, well, I'm not really like a Rampage type. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's believable for me. Like, if I saw myself, I wouldn't think Rampage. I wouldn't think that for me. So I was like, nah, I can't do that. So there's a few other ones. Rumble was another one. But then I was like, nah, I don't think that suits me. So then I was like, okay, well then I decided, I was thinking about the robes that I wanted to get and all this. It's like, what about Remarkable? And I was like, yeah, that's like a heel too, because it's like nobody's gonna come out there and be babyface like, yeah, I'm Remarkable. Like, nah, you have to be a heel with a nickname like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, all right, this is perfect. And so I was like, all right, let me try this out, and it stuck. So I just kept it.
You know what? You know what your character also reminds me of too. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Mr. Wonderful.
Okay.
Paul, yeah, because Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, he used to had the mirror, he had the robe, and then he had the music, be like, Mr. Wonderful. Then he come to the ring and whatever, like he showboating or whatever. Like I when you said Remarkable, I was like, yo, that does have a Paul Orndorff type of look to it, yeah. Yeah, so it definitely I could definitely see that. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. I didn't mean to cut y'all off.
Yeah, you did. You always do. I'm playing. I'm messing with you. This dude don't want to tell you he's 50 years old. But
here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Nah. Don't have him believe you. Don't have him tell you that. I am not 50.
It's all good.
Bro. So who would you say is your biggest rival right now?
Ooh. Right now. So as far as Ashe goes, I don't necessarily have a rival. Yeah, I just came on the scene with them a couple shows ago. So right now I'm kind of fresh. If anything, my rival is Darrius's rival, which is Billy Dixon, right? So that would be one for Ashe. Now, I also wrestle for Deep South Wrestling, and that's in Atlanta, Georgia. And I have a rival. His name is Matt Sells. And so we're going through a real rivalry right now. We've been beefing for about 4 months now. So that story is playing itself out down in Atlanta. As far as Ashe goes, I don't have a personal rival right now. Not yet.
So if I'm not mistaken, Ashe 10, we saw you go one-on-one with the guy that Darrius Carter is about to face right now. Can you explain to us what happened in that match a little bit?
All right, so in that match, what happened was, all right, so Billy Dixon's been working for about 10 years now, very experienced, and not taking anything away from him, incredibly talented. I do think that referee was counting a little fast on that one. I do think I got a little cheated on that one. Not taking anything away from Billy. He's talented. He's got the title shot for a reason. With that match, I went out there and I worked and I put it on him. But ultimately, he did catch me slipping on a banana peel. I think the referee did count a little fast on that one. So it happens. It happens. And who knows? Maybe that happened on purpose to set up Billy for this match on Saturday, so Darrius can finally put him out of the way. You know what I mean? It's a chess, not checkers type thing.
Hey, what did I just say? Cerebral assassin. It all makes sense. It all he read the thesaurus in the dictionary. He's possibly, we're not gonna spill any beans here, possibly did that on purpose against Billy Dixon, just to set up Darrius Carter for this moment. Cerebral assassin.
I mean, Billy's going into this match very confident, and part of that confidence is because he beat me at Ashe 10. Part of that confidence is because that happened. So he might be overconfident and lose.
But then again, you also said that Darrius done put him away over 20 times.
This is also true.
So why would beating Ryan Rembrandt in a fluke match because the referee was counting too fast make him more confident, knowing that Darrius Carter done took care of him so many times it's hard to keep count?
Well, it's one of those things where, everybody believes that they're the hero in their own story. And so with Billy, he's been knocked down so many times, and this is his one final title shot. And you know how the stories go. The good guy, he loses. But then there's that one moment where this is it. This is, if you can't do it this time, it's over. And the good guy always wins it. So I believe he thinks that's him. So it's like, okay, let's let him have that glimmer of hope. Darrius is going to take care of him again like he always does, but we'll give him that little hope. And for fans in attendance who also believe that story will come true, they're going to buy a ticket or they're going to tune in online and they're going to watch. They're going to sit through the whole show anticipating that main event to see their hero overcome and have that good guy ending, that good ending. And it's not going to happen. And that's going to be wonderful. But they're going to sit there and watch it all happen. Billy is going to be ready. And he's going to think he's going to think this is his time because this is what's supposed to happen. In the story, the good guy always wins. No matter how many times he gets knocked down, at the end, in the finals, the good always wins in the stories. And I believe he believes that. But it's not going to happen.
What I do remember, because you brought up, that's a good point you brought up, is Darrius Lockhart also felt the same way going into the same type of situation where, you know, if you don't beat me this time, it's the last time you get to fight for this Ashe title. And Lockhart took that L. And now he's beefing with frontman Ja. So he had to take a step back to go back down to frontman Ja. Whereas Darrius Carter is now put in the same situation he was in with Lockhart, with Billy Dixon. This your last chance, bro. So, are you going to be out there with Darrius Carter in his corner?
It's one of those things where, going back to even like, at the beginning of the interview, it's like Darrius Carter he's the guy, he's the man. So me being with him, I get to learn from him. So I'm going to be as close as possible to the action so I can see how a true champion performs. I can see that. And I can learn from him and pick up on things. Because, again, who better to learn from than the heavyweight champ? So I'll be watching very closely.
Yeah, you had that.
You see that?
I saw that.
I seen that. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that. I seen that. I seen what you just did right there. Okay. Yeah. Wink, 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 wink. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Oh snap! That's funny. Yeah.
It's on you, bro.
Yeah.
But I
you
did catch that smirk.
Yeah. But you see, that's what I'm saying. That's part of the enjoyment of being a heel. Like, and with you, right? You really don't like your character. Like right now, I can see your character as an ever evolving character. You really like your character's persona comes off like, yeah, I'm a nice guy, blah blah blah, whatever. But on the other side, like, yeah, I'm gonna reel them in, draw their attention, and then before you know it, bow, hit them with the finisher. It's over. It's over.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
gotta
They
do
didn't even see it coming. Like the RKO out of nowhere. They don't even see it coming. So like that's the beauty of that character work. Like you just did it right there. You know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of it. And like us, we appreciate that. We really do. We really do. Like we talk about it all the time as far as like the heel work, and when we first seen Darrius Carter, we was like, yo, this dude is diabolical. Like, where did this guy come from? Like, why is he acting this way? Like, why? But
He's the champ.
yeah, it was like, why is he acting this way? And then added you into the equation. It was just like, yo, like it's gonna be some dark nights for a lot of people on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Just off of the what you guys are creating together. So let me ask you this. So we talked about we've basically talked a lot about character work. So what do you feel that you will have to work on to ascend to ascend to be that next guy to be at the top of the mountain? What do you think you have to work on?
Ooh, okay. So that one is one of those things. So I kind of did like a teeter totter with my career. So for a while, I was mostly like in ring, work, work, work. But the character and personality was kind of not as emphasized.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the kind of like a switch a little bit, where it's more character, character, character. And because I'm providing more moments and I'm providing more character work, I don't have to do as much in ring. So that became less and less. So for me, just to make both of those categories go up and up, so that way I'm doing both without lacking in the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So once I get that, and that'll happen soon. That'll be quick. But once that happens, then we've got it. Once the in ring matches that character work and it stays, and then those levels continue to rise, then we've got it, and I'll be there.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then I think about it too, like your character speaks for itself. Ryan Rembrandt. When we hear the word Rembrandt, what do we think of? Art. We think of Picasso. We think of all these type of artists. You know what I mean? Da Vinci. All these artists. We think of poets and things like that. So it makes perfectly good sense. So you're basically right now your character is painting pictures visually for the people to understand where you're coming from. So like you're basically a modern day Rembrandt. That's exactly what you're doing right now. So it makes perfectly good sense. So being that you're a modern day Rembrandt, what would you say right now in your young career is your most artistic role as far as your wrestling?
Most artistic role. So, like, could you clarify that just a little bit?
Okay, so all right, what I mean most artistic role is that okay, so if you look at the matches that you have had thus far, whether it's in Ashe or whether it's in other promotions, what would you feel was your most artistic? What would you feel you did the most to get the W as far as like what you did as far as your in character work?
Ooh, okay. So I would say, ooh, that's a tough one because I've got a lot of good W's, um, but a lot of good performances that where I did slip on a banana peel too. I think honestly, my best performances have been the ones where I've ended up losing. Ironically, because I think for me, I get so caught up in character. I get so caught up in those moments, those emotions, the facial expressions, all of that. I get caught lacking. Boom, one, two, three. What happened? I just lost. But I've given all these moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think sometimes I could focus on character, look at me, look at what I'm doing, and then I lose track of the match. So there's been quite a few matches like that where I've performed very well and then just slipped on a banana peel. I'm thinking of one where I got the W where the character work was on point. Dude, it's been, I got to think, because I'm kind of foggy on that, but there's been a few.
Okay. Go ahead, Doug.
What is the most important thing that you've learned from Darrius Carter thus far?
Ooh, I think that, let's see. Ooh, there's been a few lessons, but I think patience as far as in ring goes. Now, when you watch Darrius Carter work, he'll take an arm, he'll take a leg, and he'll work that body part. And he won't just work it and just try to win immediately. He'll work it and he'll allow his opponent to suffer a little bit. And then his opponent tries to gain a little bit more, and he'll just take it from underneath them again. And he plays chess, not checkers. So for him in the ring, just taking a body part and really breaking it down and not being afraid to take a very long time to do that, to get the W. that's one of the main things I've learned from him. That that championship poise that he has when he comes out, everybody's looking. Nobody's on their phone. Nobody's like giggling, talking to. They're all looking at him, and he just has that aura, and that's something too that I've just been able to pick up on is that he has that ability to make people stop and care. So whether it's in ring tearing people's limbs or whether it's captivating an audience, I think those two things in particular stand out to me as far as what I've learned from him.
Speaking of training, talk to us a little bit about AR Fox and QT Marshall, because we understand that you were trained by them. How was it?
Yeah.
How was it like training with them?
Oh, it was awesome. So first I started out with AR Fox, and that was at the WWA4 school in Atlanta, Georgia. I started out with him, and Fox is incredible. He's one of those guys who, he doesn't get his due. Like he's very underrated. Fox could do anything, and right now you can see him on AEW Collision and on Ring of Honor. He wrestles there a lot. Very innovative. If you're a fan of indie wrestling over the past 15 years, like Fox's fingerprints are all over that. Like the moves that guys do, the innovation. Like Fox either taught them how to do that, or they saw Fox doing it and they decided to do it too. Obviously, like with his blessing, but people are inspired by Fox. A lot of wrestlers that we see on TV are inspired by him. So training with him was amazing. He focuses a lot on cardio. Um, he focuses a lot on creativity with your movements, and you can see that in his work. I mean, he does stuff that nobody does. So training with Fox was great on that cardio and creativity. Now with QT Marshall, in a similar way, he's also incredibly underrated. He can also do anything. And for QT, he's more along the lines of he could do all the athletic things too, but he focuses a lot on character, a lot on really taking your time and just polishing up what you can do. And so that's something I learned from him is just how to clean up a lot of things, just to make the moves more crisp and take more time in between the moves. QT is excellent at that. And yeah, both of those guys, I think it's ironic because you don't, if you just ask a casual wrestling fan about Fox or QT, they won't really know much about him. But if you ask like some of the top guys in the industry today, Fox and QT come right off the tip of their tongues. You know what I mean? Like they're, singing their praises because everybody's aware of how good those two guys are. So training with them was a huge blessing, and it was both in Atlanta, Georgia, and they're both still there training up the next generation.
It's crazy you say how they have their thumbprints all over the indie scene, because we've talked to quite a few guys already that they were trained by pretty much AR Fox, and then QT Marshall is sprinkled in too, but a lot of them are trained by AR Fox. So they also talked about how tough it was. How tough was it for Ryan Rembrandt?
Oh yeah, it was tough. I mean, Fox. I mean, he's a cardio machine. I have never seen him get tired before. Never seen him exhausted. I mean, it's man. I mean, we would do. I'm trying to think of some of the drills that we would do. We would do so many drills, like blow up drills, like just make like you'd have to bring like multiple shirts to training because you sweat through a shirt, you got to change, put on another shirt. We did, and he's innovative too. Like one day we did this drill where, at the end of the drill, each of us got on a turnbuckle. So there'd be 4 dudes in the ring, each get on a turnbuckle, stand up on the top, and we would do squats. We would do like 20, 30, 40 squats, like on the turnbuckle, nothing holding us up, just feet on the top rope, just doing body weight squats. Things like that require so much balance, coordination, because I mean, if your foot slips, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like it's, you know what I mean? But it's just things like that that really not only test you physically, but like mentally as well. And it's one of those things where you just got to get up there and do it. And we would do things like that. man, just getting blown up just is, he definitely works your cardio a lot. So it was tough, but it was good. And I think I mean, you can see guys that he trained like now. I mean, he trained Austin Theory, Alex
Hmm.
Kane, Alan Angels. Uh, oh man, so many people. Leon Ruff.
Yeah.
A lot of people who've been like on TV who've had contracts, and Fox trained them from the ground up. So yeah, he's
How
an
was it?
excellent trainer.
How was it taking your first bump?
It was cool because I remember I heard people talk about how the first bump was horrible. So like going into it, I was like, man, this might hurt. I took it and it was like it was kind of like my body took a screenshot. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can like feel it, like you feel it in your head a little bit. It's like, oh, yeah, this is a bump, all right? But yeah, that's the best way. Because it's like your body takes a screenshot, and you're just kind of like, oh, all right. You know what I'm saying?
I've never heard it put that way before. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, have you? How many matches total have you been in? Just a roundabout number.
Oh, roundabout, probably about 300.
Okay. So you got plenty. So, have you been in any death matches or
No,
unalive matches?
oh, no. Now for
He's saying that
that,
is that a refusal
nah,
or just
nah, man. I don't even like watching that. Like I watch like some of the old school stuff, like Mick Foley or Terry Funk. I watch some stuff like that, but even then, it's kind of like, it's not my taste. I see how people like it. Like if you like it, you like what you like. But for me, I'm not a huge fan of death matches like that. I think if there is a death match, it should be like the end of like a multi like year or multi month feud, like a very bitter feud, and the only way that feud ends is in a death match. And then I could see it and be like, all right. But for death matches every weekend, like some people do that, and there's a lot of people who are some of my friends, people who I like, do death matches every week, every month, and it's like, I mean, you do your thing, but I see it, and that none of that stuff is. I mean, it's brutal. I know people who have done death matches, and then like a week or two later, they'd be like, "Man, like my shoulder was itching. It's really irritating me. I found a bump on my shoulder. What is this?" And it's like glass from like 2-3 weeks ago. It's like, what are you doing? Like, nah. Like for me, and this is like, even like pulling back the curtain a little bit, but for wrestling, it's entertainment. So for me, I'm like, it's entertainment. It's a show. So if I'm an actor and my character in a TV show or movie gets shot, we know that's entertainment. But I'm not gonna have like a bullet like in my chest, like you know what I mean, like after filming is done, because it's not. It's the entertainment. And then pro wrestling, I'm like, and this is just my personal opinion. Again, I have friends who do that, and if they do that, that's cool. But I'm like, when I wrestle, once the bell rings and it's over, then that's it. Like, I don't want to have to feel the after effects or find random things in my body like 2-3 weeks later. Like, nah, I just think that deathmatch is not for me. It's just not my taste.
that don't even sound appealing to me? Like 2 weeks later, finding glass. Nah, I'm
Yeah,
cool on
and
that.
this is true. And I've heard that from multiple people. Like, people find glass in their backs weeks later. Yeah, stuff like that. The people have scars that last forever, like scars from death matches they had years ago. And it's like, I mean, it's a risk. You do your thing, but it's just not for
Have you
me.
ever been asked to blade?
No, no, I've never been asked to blade. Yeah, I don't know if I could do it. I mean, for that, it would have to be, again, it's one of those things where if it's a long feud and something happens that calls for it, and it's filmed and there's good production behind it, I might consider that. But if it's an indie show that's not filmed, that nobody's gonna see, like, no, like, you just don't. No, like it just doesn't make sense to me to do that.
I I
But
hear people I
people
hear
do it.
people talking about it, and then you look at like Devon Dudley's forehead. It's like completely scarred up.
Yeah. Now with that, that's one of those things where, at least in Devon's case and in his peers, like he's been on TV for 30 years. He's been in every major promotion, won the championships. He's one of the best tag teams, if not the best tag team of all time. So for him to have all those scars, it's worth it. You know what I mean? His bank account shows like it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like his status in wrestling as far as GOAT tag teams shows is worth it. Now on the indies, where that the WWE titles, the Hall of Fame, all that is not guaranteed, and honestly, from indies is very unlikely to do that and to be blading every week. I personally don't see this high risk, low reward type situation, at least from an indie point of view.
What's the hardest you've ever been hit in a wrestling match?
Oh, I got a few of those. So, man, I dang, I can tell you the first time I got knocked out, I was in a triple
Like
threat match.
sleep? Like sleep?
Yes, like out.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was in a triple threat match, and it was in some random show in Tennessee, and we were fighting on the outside. There's no mats on the ground. It's just concrete. Um, this is in like a school gym, and so one of the dudes gets up on the stage and does a crossbody on me and another wrestler that are in the match, right? So we take the crossbody, but when I go down, the back of my head goes boop on the concrete. And all I remember seeing the crossbody come to me. We're on the outside of the ring, by the way. We're probably about a good 20 feet away from the ring. So next thing, I just remember the crossbody happening. And then I wake up on the apron. And the other two dudes are just finishing the match. And I'm on the apron, like confused. Like I thought I was outside. I was like, where am I? And they're like, are you good? And I was like, yeah, I guess. And they're like, all right. And so, I just went and finished the match anyway. It was probably about like another minute or two. So went ahead to finish that. And after that, I took about a month off just to like, make sure I was good. But that was something. I don't even remember that. Apparently when I got knocked out, like one of the dudes like picked me up and brought me to the ring. It was about 20 feet away. Brought me to the ring, just put me on the apron. And I was just there for a little bit until I woke up. But yeah, so that was one. I took an enziguri to the head. Yeah, so a lot of these are headshots, man. It's just, but when it happens, I try to be like responsible with it. So if I get hit in the head hard, like I try to take like a little bit of time just to heal up from, make sure I'm good before I get back in there rolling around. But I took an NZ about a month and a half ago, and it was like a UFC knockout type. Like I was like, dude, like timber, like I just went down, and I was a little bit blurry from that, but I wasn't out. But it was a shot right there to the side of the head, boom, kick. Yeah. So those are probably the two
Concussion?
hardest. No, thankfully not. I was worried it was going to be a concussion. It wasn't, thankfully. But I still took the time away. Definitely got looked at, and I'm good. So yeah, so we're all good. But I was kind of worried at first. I was like, I hope it's not, because you don't want to play around with your brain like that.
Not at all. Not at all.
Nah, but,
I mean,
but thankfully, it's all good. So we cool.
yeah, you definitely don't want to mess around with your brain and your head. I mean, you see what some ex wrestlers are going through, or even hockey and NFL players, what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy what so much damage to your brain can do to the rest of your body and your memory. So we saw Muhammad Ali go through it for years with the Parkinson's disease, and people were saying that, well, that's from taking too many shots to the head. That's how it would cause the Parkinson's disease. So you definitely want to take care of yourself when it comes to that kind of stuff, because that stuff ain't no joke.
Yeah, now I've been blessed to only have that happen a couple of times, but like with boxing, I mean, those guys are getting hit in the head like Sometimes depending on how many rounds, like hundreds of times in the head per fight. You know what I mean? So that's
Right.
thankfully I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I definitely still try to take care of myself, make sure I'm staying above reproach, like with doctors, make sure I'm good before I go back out there, before I start rolling around again. But yeah, as of right now, I'm good. But those were the hardest times I've been hit.
Crazy work. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to my last question. So we speak about your hardest bumps, and have you taken any chair shots before, like to the head?
No, not to the head. I've taken them to like the midsection, and then when I bend over, then to the back. But that's it. I haven't taken any to the head. Yeah.
What do you think of like wrestlers that have been in the business for like let me say like 20 plus, and they started developing the I forgot what Benoit had and what they said Eddie.
CTE.
Yeah,
CTE.
yeah, okay. What Benoit had and what they saying, I think they said Eddie. They said Eddie went through something like that too. So what do you think like that of wrestlers that have possibly went through that? Do you see your style of wrestling having to go through that type of trauma, like going into the like the later parts of your career, or do you see your style of wrestling being more on the safer side and trying to secure yourself so you can have longevity in your career?
Oh, definitely the safer side for sure. I definitely wanted longevity in the career and just longevity in life.
Hmm.
Um, for sure, definitely the safer side. And I got popped a couple times, but I've been very lucky, very blessed that that's all that has happened. Because there have been guys who have been wrestling like less than me or less time than me that have had several moments like that already.
Oh, wow.
And then that's scary. So it's like, yeah, I definitely lean towards the safer style. I definitely get a hand up whenever a boot is coming. I definitely get a hand up, block that as much as possible.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's one of those things where it's scary, right? It's scary, and it's good that we're learning more about it, so that way people can be aware
Mhm.
of how serious it is.
Mhm.
But yeah, I try to make sure that if that were to happen, that I take time away to heal up properly. A lot of
Mhm.
guys don't do that, and even back, even mentioning like Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, like those guys with their schedule, they're wrestling about 290 days a year, 300.
Mhm.
They're on the road. They're always so like if they got hit, they got concussed. Like, all right, see you at the live event tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's like they were just go go go. So they really had no time to recover. Let their brain recover from those shots.
Mhm.
Um, so I try to make sure that I get that time to recover. And I know a lot of guys on the indies now um, try to do that as well to an extent. And some guys will get knocked out and they'll just wrestle the next day. I mean, and again, that's them. I wouldn't do that
Mhm.
personally. I try to protect myself because at the end of the day, I love wrestling. We all love wrestling, but for the timeline of your life, wrestling is only going to take up like X amount of time, right? You're not going to be able to do it. No matter how safe or how good you are, you will not be able to wrestle for your whole life. So you do have to think about what my life will look like after wrestling, right? Like, will I be able to remember things? Will I be able to, if I drop something, can I bend down and pick it up without being in pain, right? Like
Mhm.
things like that, that a lot of guys aren't able to do. And I think that's one of those things that's good about like my generation is we could see guys from the previous generations that have gone through a lot of physical pain and still live in pain every day, even though they don't wrestle anymore. We can see that and try to be proactive with their own lives and our own careers.
Mhm.
So I try to lean more on the safe side for sure.
Yeah, I only asked that because I've I've heard the war stories of wrestlers, and their battle scars and head trauma and things like that, and hearing more and more and more and more about it because it kind of like if you're wanting to be a wrestler and you want to get in the sport, it would kind of scare you a little bit to stay away from the sport. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of like I said, let me ask because I know people like Benoit suffered from that. Eddie, there's a few others too, but the ones that we really talk about the most because of what happened to them was Eddie and Chris Benoit. But yeah, I definitely hear where you're coming from. Play on the safer side. I remember I've seen this interview with the Miz, and the Miz was talking about him taking pride in being safe as far as his in ring work because he's afraid of getting hurt or he's afraid of getting injured to the point where he can't return. And for the most part, he's done a great job because you really don't hear about him getting hurt that much. So
Right.
it's kind of an art in itself to master how to be safe and how to protect yourself and protect your opponent that you're
Mhm.
wrestling against as well. Because I definitely think that's important too, protecting your opponent because
Yeah.
your opponent is lending his body to you and you're lending your body to your opponent. And y'all both are trying to get out there and put on a decent show and then be safe at the same time. So,
Mhm.
I feel like learning those certain techniques as far as falling, getting hit, and things like that is important because one false move and it could be a night or a day or 3 4 or a month in the hospital. So yeah, I get it, especially nowadays because we've seen a few bumps recently. I remember the botch that we seen. I don't know if you seen it with Jade. She had a whole
Oh
what was
yeah.
it? Yeah, that was nasty. That
Yeah,
was nasty. So yeah, things like that could happen. You just gotta be safe. Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
all. That's all I had to ask. Yeah.
Well, before we head out, is there anything that the remarkable Ryan Rembrandt would like to promote your stuff, promote anything you got going on?
Yes. So this Saturday night in the Charlotte, North Carolina, it starts at 6 p.m. Ashe Wrestling. And for anybody who's watching this or anybody who comes across this clip later, Ashe Wrestling is a new promotion. Started about a year and a half ago in Charlotte. Excellent promotion. It showcases all types of wrestlers, technical powerhouses, high flyers, showmen, all types of wrestlers, former WWE guys, current TNA guys. We actually have Leon Slater, X Division champion from TNA. He'll be there. He's in a scramble match with a lot of young up and coming talent in that match. So that match is going to be fire. You've got Cedric Alexander. He's wrestling LeBron Cozone this Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, number one contenders match. So we've got our eye on that one. But regardless, that's going to be a great match. So if you're watching that, definitely want to tune in. And of course, we've got our new Ashe Women's Champion, Charity King. She'll be
Mm-hmm.
making her first title defense. We've got a who's who of indie talent on the show. So I want to plug Ashe Wrestling the most. And Ashe Wrestling is one of those things because, I went to UNC Charlotte. I'm from North Carolina. This is a Carolina promotion based in Charlotte. So it has a special place in my heart, right? So I want to be able to promote that. That's the most, that's the next show that I've got coming up. If you're in Atlanta, Georgia, Deep South Wrestling, we run shows the end of every month. So if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, you can check my page for more information on that. But yeah, just stay tuned because I've got some more dates coming up. Ooh, another one, Coastal Empire Wrestling. That show's in Savannah, Georgia. I'll be making my debut at the end of the month. October 26th, I believe, is a Saturday. I'll be there, Coastal Empire Wrestling in Savannah, Georgia. So if you're in that area, if you're watching this, or if you want to go on Facebook, go on YouTube and check it out, you'll see it, CEW. Watch, it's an incredible show, lots of storytelling. So those three shows, Ashe Wrestling in Charlotte, Deep South in Atlanta, and Coastal Empire in Savannah, Georgia. That's what I want to plug. And of course, you can follow me on social media at Ryan Rembrandt. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Give me a follow, and you get to see what's going on with the Remarkable One.
And everybody that pays attention to us and watches all of our stuff or listens to it on Spotify, they know we are consistently pushing Ashe Wrestling.
Yeah.
We really appreciate Darrius Lockhart making a brand of wrestling that's for us, by us.
Yes.
So when we found out that this was going on, we immediately hopped on the train, and we have been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing Ashe Wrestling out there. So for everybody that's listening to this or going to listen to this, listen to Mr. Rembrandt. Go follow Ashe Wrestling. Go watch the show this Saturday. It's not going to be on YouTube this time. You got to get on their website, and you got it's $15, $15 to watch the show. Man, it's going to be worth every penny of it. I can guarantee it. My brother next to me can guarantee it, and you know the Remarkable One can guarantee it because he's going to be there.
Yep, I'll be there. So that's enough reason alone to watch it. But again, we got the star power of who's of indie wrestling, Ashe Wrestling. Check it out.
So I always end every show with the same question. So I'm going to propose this question to you.
All right.
If you could see anybody on our show, the Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast, who would it be? But you have to help us get that person on the show.
Oh, anybody, any wrestler that can be on the show.
And you have to help us.
All right, so let's see. Okay, I've got one. So this is a female wrestler. She's in the Mid-South. Her name is Cassandra Golden. Now, Cassandra Golden? Cassandra Golden. Yep, she's been on AEW a few times before. She's been on TNA. But she's been dominating the Mid-South area. And she's somebody who's real cool, real talented. And I think she has a lot to say. There's a lot of cool things coming up in her career as well. And she's been working for about 8 years now. Things are starting to come together. She's becoming more and more complete as a performer. And I think y'all will have a really good time talking with her. I think the fans, the people watching the show, will love to be able to see what she's up to. And if they're not familiar with her, just to get to know her more.
I will get her contact. I will find her contact. Is she on Instagram and stuff like that, like you are?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook. Yep, Cassandra Golden.
Okay, because that's how I found your email is Instagram. So I know some wrestlers, they put their emails on their Instagrams and stuff like that, but they don't ever respond to them or they don't check them. So I will. Yeah. You're like the first one to respond to an email that I've sent out probably about a month now.
Oh,
and I've sent out probably a good 50 in that time frame, and you're the first one to actually respond. So we already had relationships with the Ugly Gang, so it was easy to get them to come on. But you were the first person, and you responded quickly too. I was like, I could have swore I just sent that email.
Yeah, I try to, because it's one of those things where it's like, if you reach out to somebody, like, you got to give them a response. Like, and it's cool because it's like, you want me on the show because you're helping me out, right? Getting my name out there to people who watch your show who might not be familiar with me. You're helping me out. But also we cross promote because now people who follow me who might not know about this show, well, now they'll know because they'll see it. So it's like we get to help each other out. So I'm always going to jump on the opportunity to help each other out. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's really what it's about. You're trying to build this pro wrestling ecosystem. You know what I'm saying?
And we really, 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 really appreciate you. First off, giving a response, whether if it was yes or no, it didn't matter. Appreciate you taking the time to even just respond to us, and then taking the time out of your busy schedule, since we know what you're doing for what you do for a living, helping out the youngins out there, teaching our youngins, taking the time out of doing that on top of your wrestling schedule just to come on and have a conversation with us. So we really, really, really appreciate that.
Of course, yeah, anytime.
Yes, we definitely do appreciate that, and we definitely don't want this to be the last time that you come on the show, and we want to see, like, the next time you come on the show, we want to see you holding a championship belt. We want to see a belt. We want to see a belt. So we speaking it into existence.
Yes.
We want to see a belt. We want to see whether it's from Ashe, whether it's from another promotion. We just want to see a belt. We just want to see a belt. We just want to see a belt. Yeah, but we appreciate your time and patience and everything like that. Is there anything else you want to plug in before we head out?
No, I think I said it. Watch Ashe on Saturday night.
We definitely will be watching on Saturday night. And with that being said, it's the insightful one, Scott Bars Wrestling Media, and the dynamic Dark Wing Dub. Salute along
Mr.
with
Rembrandt,
the remarkable one, Ryan Rembrandt. We'll see you guys this weekend. We will be watching Ashe Wrestling. Thanks for having. Peace.
Peace. Appreciate y'all.
You too.